Today I got this file. My friends, this is not some simple stuff today. It's some great stuff and information which will be vital to your life. If you've had any things like problems with the visa officials at the British Embassy or consulate or whatever you might call it. Anyway, basically, I've got a way that you can go to the UK without any visa restrictions, and this is specifically for people living in the countries which are termed Commonwealth countries. Basically, I've already explained in my previous videos, you can see there, which was talking about which countries are Commonwealth countries, and basically, I'm just gonna go over just bits and not enter into the details. Commonwealth countries are those countries which were once ruled by Britain, and some of them are still ruled by Britain, such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and I think it's Jamaica and some islands in the Caribbean as well. And I'm not going to go into specifics, but other countries which were once ruled by Britain, which were once colonies, like Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Kenya, even South Africa. Some countries were not ruled by Britain, but they voluntarily requested to be in the Commonwealth organization, which countries like Rwanda as well in Africa. So basically, what information have I got today for you? Now, I'm gonna go into details. Like I said, you know, I've lived in the UK, and you can also live in the UK as well. Although my journey into the UK wasn't specifically as yours might be, but basically I went there legally as a person who was a child of a diplomat. My father was the specific diplomat that I'm talking about. Now, my father, well, he was a prominent figure. You might have heard of him, Athumani Hina, and he basically was a member of parliament for a constituency of a certain district in Tanzania. And as well as that, my father was also a diplomat. Now, this is the place that I want to take you, but before that, I want to show you the reasons a person can get those specific qualifications in order for them to get a visa-free pass to the UK. Now, basically, you can go there by marriage, you can go as a Commonwealth citizen, that is, or you can go there, although the term right of abode is a term that I must explain, which is basically the right to stay in the UK without any immigration restrictions. Now, basically, you can go there with the right of abode, but you must be born in the UK before 1983. And besides that, even the marriage thing, although it's gender biased, I'm surprised at this sort of thing that they're talking about here, which is that you must be a woman in order to get the right of abode through marriage. And it's got these restrictions where your parents probably have to be in were born in the UK, or you were born in the UK, or one of your parents was born there, or was born in one of the colonies of the United Kingdom. Anyway, besides those which were through marriage, as well as your parents having been citizens of the UK or colonies of the UK before 1983, how can you be a citizen of how can you go there without any visa restrictions if you're not a citizen? Anyway, like I said, you can go there as a diplomat like my father did, or you can go there as a student, which also requires you to have a visa, by the way. But like I said, the Commonwealth, what is it? Well, as a child, I grew up in this sort of environment where I was living under a politician, so to speak, and my father would take me to the Commonwealth Institute, if you've heard of it. Now, the Commonwealth Institute is like this place. It's got about 2 stories. It's a building about 2 stories. Anyway, you've got these sort of cubicles or rooms, which are not, so to speak, more or less like a theatre, where each country from the Commonwealth countries has a cubicle or a sort of and you can see the picture over there, which you can probably view it, and basically I would go there with my father, and as a prominent politician, he used to go to places like that, the Commonwealth Institute, that is. He would give out speeches and talk about stuff about concerning the Commonwealth, although specifically about the country where I'm coming from, which is Tanzania. But anyway, that's how I got introduced to stuff about the Commonwealth. Anyway, the other bit about which I'm going to talk about, of course, is how you can get a free visa or go to the UK without any visa, which is, I'm going to go back to the history of how people interacted in the Commonwealth, especially in Africa. And there was a Ghanaian person, his name was Joseph Joseph Hammond, sorry. And there was another person, Clive Sykes, from Tanzania, East Africa. They joined the army and they fought in the World War II in Burma. Joseph Hammond is 99 years old right now, and Clive Sykes, unfortunately, has already passed away a couple of years ago. Now, the thing is that my father was a prominent politician, but he was taken as a diplomat, not because he was, he got lucky. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say this, but it's not nice to talk about this as well. But you see, when a country such as an African country usually has politicians which are solely, patriotic is the word, yeah, and they speak for the people. Although I'm talking about people which are in the ruling party, not outside the ruling party. That's another thing which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to talk about politics. But basically, my father, he stood for certain things which the establishment at the time was not happy about. And unfortunately, you might say that you're lucky if a country decided to pay for your ticket and visa and everything and took you to another country like the UK or America. You say yourself you're lucky, but for a politician it's not that good, because you have a top government post like a member of parliament or whatever, or even a minister, and suddenly you're taken to another country as a diplomat, and unfortunately you might view it as something which is very sort of lucky. Anyway, it's destiny, I guess. But at the end of the day, I read it in another sense that the establishment at the time wanted him to move out and not be in the sphere or the arena at the time, the political arena, so that because he was more patriotic at the time. Anyway, basically, you can go to the UK as without a visa, like I talked about. The abode of stay is through marriage or through the if your parents were born there. But you can also, but those restrictions for those people that were born before 1983. So how can you do it right now? Anyway, you can. You can go there and you can get a good job, and even they will feed you, and you can have an opportunity to travel besides the UK on ships and on certain conditions. You can do that. Anyway, what another person was saying is David Vitalis. He's 42 right now, but he served in the British Army for 17 years. Now, this guy, he was from the Caribbean, and at the time, surprisingly, you might be surprised at this, but the British Army was looking for recruits in the Caribbean, and he volunteered, and he got posted to the UK for training, and eventually he served there for most of his career. So it's not surprising for a person to go to the UK. I mean, even when I went to when I was in the UK, and I was going to school, and in the holidays I used to work there as well. You know, places like Barclays Bank, which I've worked for. I've also worked for certain individual small businesses, you know, car washes,